That one, fly ball out to right field. Coming in is Trummer, and he makes the catch. And that'll do it for Batavia. But on 3 hits, 3 runs come across. It is 5-0 here at at Dwyer Field. And we're back here at Dwyer Stadium. Batavia Muckdogs up 5-0. 5 runs on 5 hits, no errors. And Tarp Skunks has been incredibly silent on the top part of the frame. It'll be the top of the lineup going up against Liz, as Liz is going to start his 3rd inning of work, or 4th inning of work. And Grant Moore standing in.
So this game, win or lose, we're going to wipe out the live feed on the YouTube and then re-upload the game.
The first pitch misses. Grant Moore tried to lay down a bunt.
It's one of those situations where everything we've tried just isn't working, including the hot spot tonight.
Swing and a miss by Grant Moore, and it is 1-1.
That storm that came in did a number on our gear here.
It really did. And like you said, anything that could go wrong did go wrong. A 1-1 to Grant Moore. That one in the zone as he watches that one. 1-2 the count. Eric Weeks on deck. A check swing, no swing. So it is 2-2 the count.
Well, at least we got enough light out of the camera. I backed it up a little bit so we can actually see the action. Well, maybe. Still locking up a little bit, but we'll try to get it rolling here.
Well, a swing and a miss by Grant Moore, and he has set down on strikes for the 2nd time today. So that's going to bring in Eric Weeks. He grounded out to short in his last at-bat. The Tarp Skunks really need to get something going here. It is unlike them to be this silent coming into the 4th with no hits. That one is in the dirt for a ball.
There's a lot about this game that is out of the ordinary, Jalen. Think that is a acceptable statement?
Yeah. So 1-0 to Eric Weeks. That one line fouled.
We're just going to kill the camera until it works. We're going to go radio style for you.
So 1-1 to Eric Weeks. That one, a blooper up to second, and he is out. And so make that 2 quick outs. And that's going to bring in Nolan Smith, the first baseman. And Nolan Smith lined out to short back in the first inning. He watches that one in the zone for a strike. Oh, and won the count. That one is inside for a ball. 1-1 the count to Nolan Smith.
I thought that one might come in and hit him the way that it was coming out of the hand.
And that one was inside. So 1-1 to Nolan Smith. That one in the zone for a strike. 1-2 to Nolan Smith, and he's going to have to protect here with 1-2 the count. That one in the dirt for a ball. 2-2 the count. And after that storm passed, the wind isn't even a factor anymore.
Okay, we can be thankful for that. All right, we got some video back.
As that one misses for a ball, and Sliz just fell off the mound. So it is 3-2 the count. So 3-2. That one just missed, and Nolan Smith draws a walk. That's going to bring in James Dixon.
I don't even know if I should say it or not.
It's pretty close.
That one was closer than the one Lindquist was called out on strikes on.
Oh, yeah, that one clearly inside. That one was a stone cold take. Here is James Dixon. He walked in his last at bat. So, that one line drive up the middle, and that one gets past Russell. And the Tarp Skunks get their first hit of the ball game, and we had to wait all the way until the top of the fourth for it.
Then here we go again. Skunks trying to build on a 2-out rally.
That's going to bring in Dom Costello. He walked in his last at bat. So he does not have an official at bat yet. That one is up for a ball. 1-0.
Costello walked, was wiped out on the front end of a double play back in the second inning.
It was. So 1-0 to Costello. That one inside. It catches his own for a strike. 1-1.
So first Tarp Skunk to reach scoring position. Make that second. Dixon got there in the third inning.
That one, ground ball up the middle. Cooper Russell couldn't get a glove on it, but then steps on the bag at second. And that'll do it for the Tarp Skunks. One left on one hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It is still a 5-0 ball game.
New pitcher for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks, Tino Masone. He comes in and replaces Zach McLean as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Batavia will send up their bottom 3, Monell, Vaughn, and I. And here to tell you about it is Jalen Ferguson.
Yeah, that's right. As Tino Masone going to be called to eat up some innings here.
Hopefully he can eat them quickly. The last thing the Skunks can afford is another prolonged inning.
Yeah.
Next time we're on the air with you, knock on wood, is going to be tomorrow night at Olean as the Tarp Skunks going to take on the Olean Oilers. That one's going to be 6:30 for the first pitch. And then we're back at home on Friday night, fireworks night. Make your plans to join us as Olean comes in, and it's the last time we see the Oilers until the end of the season.
Very familiar face, but it's good to see some different teams. Here comes first pitch for Masone, and that one is outside for a ball. So he will face Romich, or no, not Romich, Manel Vaughn with an I. That one flied out to left field, ranging back is Dugan. And that one is off the wall. And so it is a loud double by Miles Manella. And that's going to bring in Kyle Vaughn.
And fans, your attention, please. Now pitching for Jamestown, number 10, Santino Musone. Musone on the mound for the visiting Jamestown Tarp Skunks.
So Kyle Vaughn's doing in. He doubled in his last at bat. If you're Tino, you do not want him to repeat that. That one hits him on the first pitch. And so, with no outs, 2-1, that's going to bring in Brandon Isles.
You definitely didn't want to do that either.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you definitely didn't want to do that, but nonetheless, he did it. And so now we're at the bottom of the lineup. And Brandon he struck out looking. As he lays down a bunt, and that one is popped up and fouled above us.
That was a pretty impressive distance on a pop bunt foul.
That was almost like a fly ball.
Almost how it looks like when I try to hit a pitching wedge. Straight up and backwards.
That was Manel at second, Savon at first. Is then a bunt popped up, and it is fouled. So now Braden is quickly behind 0-2.
He's going to have to work for something here.
He is. There's Jalen David, top of the lineup on deck, as they're going to try and roll it back up for a third time. So Tino Masone inside and down low for a ball. So 1-2 to Braden Tino Masone looking for the punch out here. That one outside for a ball, 2-2, and you don't want to lose them as it's looking like. So the count is even at 2. Runners on. So that one popped up and fouled behind the dish. So we're going to do an even count once again. That's the thing with Batavia is they are not easy to put out. 2-2, both runners advancing, and that is fouled at the plate.
Ooh, and you know what? That was a premature call by the home plate umpire, and I'm going to tell you why. Not because I want to give the Muckdogs any kind of advantage. Let's just throw that out there right there. But the ball bounced behind him, stayed on the dirt, and rolled and landed on the foul line. That would have been a fair ball.
And it really did look like a fair ball to me. Unless it is an even count again. That one outside for a ball. 3-2 the count. Batavia up 5-0 on 5 hits, no errors, and the Tarp Skunks nothing, nothing, and nothing. So full count, and that one outside, and that will be another walk. As we roll it back up to the top of the lineup, it is Jalen David. And Jalen David has shown to be a problem for the Tarp Skunks in this game and in past games as well, as he singled and came around to score twice.
And David dangerous at the top of the lineup. And also has a number of RBIs.
As that one is a line drive straight to Dugan, and a diving effort makes the catch, but the run scores. And Batavia now up 6-0.
Seemed like Dugan got froze on that one a little bit, wanted to come in on it, and at the last second had to dive to get it.
So here comes Cooper Russell.
You know, Joe Rittenbach coming out to have a conversation about something and not happy with the result of it. Not sure what that would have been about.
Cooper Russell. He walked, came around to score, and was hit by the pitch and came around to score. That one in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. That one also outside for a ball. 1-1, the count is even. Runners at first and second with one out.
You know, you got to wonder, what do the Skunks need to do to finally beat these guys?
That one outside for a ball. 1-1. See, here's the thing, though. When they beat them the first time, I think it was a situation of teams getting used to each other. But now that Batavia has a scouting report on us, I think they got the Tarp Skunks well scouted. That one is up and inside, does not hit him, but 2-1 the count for Cooper Russell.
No, make it 3-1.
There's 3-1.
Yeah, we got deked yet again today.
3-1. That went in the zone for a strike, so the count is full again. The Tarp Skunks looking to figure out a way to get out of this inning. And got him! So struck him out at the down low pitch that catches the zone. And looks like that there are two gone, and that's going to bring in Jackson Inman. Jackson Inman, he walked, struck out. He also came around and scored on the walk, putting up the third run. That one, no swing, says the home plate, or says the field umpire. This is a 1-0 count. Like you said, what are they going to do to beat this team? I mean, I don't know. The problem is that they're just attacking on all cylinders. It's really hard to defend against that. It's that one in the zone for a strike, 1-1. And again, it's Tarp Skunks with no errors. So they're being very clean. It's just Batavia is hitting it in the correct spots. But 1-1 the count. That one outside for a ball. 2-1.
Lindquist whispering something behind his glove to the bench based on something he might have seen from Inman.
But 2-1 to Inman. That one inside, so it is 3-1. Evan Brock on deck for Batavia. But again, one thing that did not do the Tarp Skunks a service. It is the walks. The 3-1 ground ball up the middle off Tina Massone's ankle. And that's going to be an infield single.
And that's a bad break for the Skunks. If that one had gotten through cleanly, it would have been picked up either by Dixon or Kiefer up the middle. Not sure they would have been able to get anybody, but it's a bad break because the opportunity never came about.
So bases are loaded, and that's going to bring in Evan Brock. Struck out and grounded out to second. So he is 0 for 2 on the day. That one in the zone for strike. 1-1 the count.
Brock is struck out, grounded out to second. It's been one of the few quiet Muckdogs at the plate here tonight.
Seems like that happens in hitting parades, as that one swung on and missed. Batavia, 6 runs on 7 hits, no errors. Jamestown Tarp Skunks, no runs on 1 hit, no error. Here at the bottom of the 4th. That one, fly ball, and it is caught by Kiefer, and that'll do it. 1 run comes across on a couple of hits, no errors. We go to the top of the 5th. It is 6-0 Batavia. Welcome back here to Dwyer Stadium. Batavia up 6-0. Sliz will continue his outing as he will face Kiefer Jordan Lindquist, and back on the mound, it is Dre Guinness.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. As we go to the top of the 5th inning here, Jamestown trailing 6-0. Jake Sliz on the mound for his 5th inning of work. He will face Tito Kiefer, Caleb Jordan, and Branson Lindquist. As Kiefer grounded out to short his first time up. First pitch is a breaking ball that misses off the zone for a ball, 1-0. Little programming note, a decision made in between innings. We were going to do Olean tomorrow. We were going to take that day off. And we'll be back with Olean on Friday at Dietrich Park as there's a ground ball that takes an unusual hop off the mound, off the second base bag, the throw in time, and there's one away.
Look, okay, that one took an awkward bag off the plate, but that was a very close play at first. I'm not too sure about that one. I'm going to mark that as number 2 that was missed.
Third base number 38.
So that'll bring up Caleb Jordan with 1 out. First pitch misses for a ball, 1-0. I mean, that bounced off the mound, bounced off the bag into the hand of Russell at second.
That was still a very close play at first. That bounce bought Kiefer a lot of time.
Is that one called a strike? 1-1 to Jordan. And the pitch. That one took it for a strike, 1-2. So yeah, we will be off tomorrow. The Tarp Skunks will play Olean. I'm not sure if Olean has a YouTube page or not.
I think they do.
We'll see.
Or maybe it's the radio. I don't know.
But then we will be back at Dietrich Park. Swing and a miss, and Jordan goes down. So Branson Lindquist stands in 2 down here, top of the 5th inning. Sliz cruising as the first pitch in the dirt for a ball, 1-0.
And I'm looking at my notes here. Sliz has 4 strikeouts on the Tarp Skunks.
That one right down the pipe for a strike, 1-1.
So cruising.
And one of those strikeouts against Branson Lindquist on a very questionable strike 3 call.
That is true.
There's been 3 questionable calls that have gone against Jamestown today. And before, anyone comes out and starts, saying all these things about, oh, you're just a homer or whatever. No, I mean, I try to be fair and honest. I mean, I called a mistake that would have gone the Muckdogs' way. It's, what we see with our own eyes. Eyes don't lie. Ooh. That one just missed on the inside, and that one was closer to the plate than the one Lindquist was called out on strikes.
That one, they gave him that ball. That was very generous, to be honest.
No, they're saying 2-1 is the count. Well, they're saying 3-2 now. So it's a full count. I don't know. I've lost the program here.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Well, I know there's 3 balls because on the last pitch, Lindquist wanted to go to first.
And I know there are 2 strikes because 2 strikes have been called against him. Ground ball too short, picked up by Bonell. Long throw across the diamond in time, and the side's retired. Nothing doing for the Skunks as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's still 6-0.
Welcome back here to Dwyer Stadium. Batavia still up 6-0 on the Tarp Skunks. Tino Masson here to start his third inning of work. He will face Brooks, Quintaro, and Romich. And here to call the action, it is Dre Guinness.
All right, as we go to the bottom of the fifth inning, Tarp Skunks running out of chances here, 6-0.
They're running out of chances, and they are on a very short, or not short leash, very thin ice here.
Thin ice indeed. Skunks will be in Olean tomorrow. We will not be there. We will be back with you on Friday when the Oilers come into Dietrich Park for fireworks night. It'll be 6:30 before the first pitch on Friday night.
Tarp Skunks are on very thin ice. I won't even call it thin ice. I'd say slushy ice.
Now I want an icy.
Or that slushy from Sonic's.
No, I prefer the old school Slurpees, man. I'm old school. So Glenn Brooks stands in. A hit and a sacrifice fly. 3 RBIs on the day. Takes the first pitch. He sees low for a ball. 1-0. Tarp Skunks really could use a 1-2-3 inning. They almost had it, and then the rain came down and ruined everything.
That really threw off McLean's game.
Threw off everybody's game except the Muckdogs. So that one misses way outside, 2-0.
What if that rain delay never happened?
That's the question.
Could it be a different story without that rain delay?
That is the question that we'll never have an answer to. Because that one's fouled off, 2-1.
I know rain delays can really throw a player. I remember in 2016 of the World Series when Cleveland tied it up. And then a rain delay happened and the Cubs took advantage of that. I think Batavia took advantage of that.
2-1 pitch, missing low and in, 3-1. Tino Masson comes in with a leading 6 wins as a pitcher for the Tarp Skunks, all coming in relief. And the way it's going here tonight, it would be a miracle. It's a ground ball too short, through into center field. That is a base hit. Dixon unable to get to corral it and bring it in. So a leadoff single. And the Muckdogs are in business.
You know, I would not score that an error because that one came screaming off the bat. Dixon had to make a sharp left. And it hit his glove and got past him.
Yeah, I'm looking at the scoreboard. I don't think they're going to score that an error. I think they're going to give that a pure hit. As James Quintaro stands in. Brooks takes his lead off first. And Masson's first pitch, runner goes. Pitch taken for a ball, throw down to second. Off the glove of the shortstop Dixon. Nolan Smith luckily there to play backup on a funky angle off the glove.
You know, that is how the ball stayed in the infield. If it would have went out, could have been a whole different story there.
So 1-0 the count, runner at second. As Masson kicks and throws. That one check swing. They're going to ask the field umpire. And no swing on that one. So the count goes 2-0. Brooks takes his lead, and the pitch. That one hits the inside of the zone for a strike. 2-1 the count. As the sky out in left field looks like it's caught on fire.
That looks like an ember.
And the runner goes. 2-1 pitch. Taken for a ball, throw down to third. Not in time. And the Muckdogs, they're just having their way with the Skunks here tonight.
I
There's
mean,
nothing the Skunks can do about it.
yeah, another stolen bag for Glenn Brooks. I think they're just toying with him at this point.
3-1. And the pitch. Popped up. Behind first base, Smith drawing a beat on it. No, make that Kiefer. Calling Smith off, and he puts it away for the first out.
And no one wanted that, but Kiefer called him off. It was in his position also.
So good communication on the field there. And with one out, that is going to bring up Cooper Romick.
That is amazing how that was only the first out.
Brooks off third. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses up in the zone for a ball 1-0.
I gotta say, even though he missed, that was a good idea there.
That was a pretty impressive breaking ball, just hung up a little bit.
If that one would have dropped a few seconds sooner, that could have been a strike.
1-0 the count and the pitch. That one off Lindquist in the dirt, but a good job by Masson to cover the ball, prevent Brooks from being able to score.
Yeah, he did make a good effort to cover home plate, but it also stayed in the batter's circle.
I was wondering if anyone was going to follow along with that.
Yeah.
2-0. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. That's 2-1.
Like I said, wind not even a factor.
2-1 pitch on the way. That one hits the zone for a called strike 2. And the count even at 2 apiece. On deck is Miles Monell, who has had a lot of action out at shortstop here tonight. Masson comes set, checks Brooks at third, kicks and throws the 2-2. Popped up on the infield. Who's calling for it? It is the third baseman, Jordan. Puts it away, and Masson induces 2 pop-ups, 2 outs. And that's going to bring up Miles Monell.
Well, that's good that those were 2 pop-ups, because if those were fly balls, we could have possibly saw a tag up. Keeping it inside the diamond.
As Miles Monell stands in, last time he was up, he had a leadoff double back in the 4th inning, as that ball bounces behind Lindquist for a ball 1-0.
Here's the thing, though. Here in Dwyer Stadium, the backstop is not as far as it is in other ballparks like Russell E. Dietrich.
Yeah, this is probably one of the most intimate parks in the PGCBL Western Division.
I almost kind of feel claustrophobic here.
Swing and a miss on a high fastball evens the count at 1 apiece. I felt that way in Elmira. You know, when you sit down in the stands in Elmira, it almost feels like, I almost get the feeling like right before you go into an MRI machine, just that wave of panic.
Yeah. Or for a CAT scan.
As that one's fouled back 1-2. CAT scan's not so bad. At least there's a little bit more opening than an MRI.
I feel claustrophobic back in Auburn, too. Even though Auburn, their design is a lot like Dwyer.
You know, there are a number of what would be considered cookie cutter ballparks in this league. Is that one a breaking ball that floats low? Count evens at 2 apiece.
I mean, Dwyer's dimensions is almost the same. It's just the scoreboard is in a different spot.
Yeah. 3:30 down the left field line. As there's a pop-up to short. Dixon calling everybody off, and he looks it into his glove, and the inning is over. No runs on one hit, one runner left at third, no damage done. We go to the top of the 6th inning. It's still 6-0.
And welcome back here to Dwyer Stadium. Batavia up 6-0 over the Tarp Skunks, as it'll be a new pitcher on the mound for Batavia. We'll get you a name of him in just a minute. He will face Anthony Trummer, CJ Dugan, and then bringing it back up to the top of the lineup, it is Grant Moore. And here to tell you all about this inning and the new pitcher, Dre Guinness.
All right, Jalen, thank you very much. As we work to get the new pitcher information, we'll have that for you here in just a minute. Anthony Tromer, CJ Dugan, and back to the top of the order for the Tarp Skunks with Grant Moore. It's Jack Page coming in.
I remember him posing as a problem the last time he played us.
Well, if you remember him being a problem, it's probably why he's making his 8th appearance, 2-0 record with a 3.8 ERA in 18 2/3 innings, 15 hits, 10 runs, 8 earned, 8 walks against 28 strikeouts as the first pitch is fouled out of play, 0-1.
I gotta say, I like that transition there.
There was a transition?
From if you think he poses as a problem, and then we're at the stats.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I just luck into those. 0-1 to Trummer takes the pitch outside for a ball, 1-1. Second at bat for Trummer. He grounded out to second his first time up. And oh my goodness, that was a breaking ball that had me frozen up here right in the middle of the zone. 1-2 the count.
Man, that one just dropped.
There's another one as there's a weak chopper toward third, picked up by Inman, throw on to first. No, he beat it out. And the Tarp Skunks get their second hit of the ball game.
That was good by Tromer being able to use his speed. He was really digging. Got on first, beating out the throw.
So that'll bring up CJ Dugan.
And Tromer was a guy who really turned the bat around as he's starting up a mini hit streak.
Dugan looks at a curveball on the inside for a ball, 1-0. For Dugan, he grounded out to short his only time up. And Page comes over with that off speed on the outside, 2-0.
That just goes to show you how fast the top of the frames are going. How this is the second rotation through the lineup.
2-0 pitch. Oh, and a strike called, and Romick thought about doing a pickback to first, but Traumer able to get back. I don't know if he would have been able to get back if he had made the throw. 2-1 foul out of play. 2-2. Page has thrown a lot of off-speed and breaking stuff. And the pitch. Another breaking ball up high, 3-2.
It's really showing a favor to that breaking ball there.
Bit of a junk baller here.
I think he's going to throw a fastball and try to free somebody up.
Payoff pitch popped up foul. Giving chase, but out of play. I give a lot of credit to the couple that were sitting out. Ball landed 3 feet from them. They didn't even move. The payoff pitch again. Runner goes. That one's fouled back in. Romick takes a look, but that one's also out of play.
I think that was going to be a hit and run move.
Interesting call on a 3-2 to go hit and run. I kind of like it.
Even if it was a walk, he would be granted the base.
Runner goes, swing and a miss. Throw down to second is going to one hop. The second baseman, Russell Monell, there to snag the backup. And there is one away on the strikeout. That brings up Grant Moore.
And Grant Moore is due for a hit today, as he has 2 strikeouts to his name.
Righty versus lefty. And then Page's first pitch misses off the plate for a ball, 1-0. It's definitely a different type of pitcher than Jake Sliz. Sliz more of a fireballer powerhouse. That's where Page is trying to paint the corners and throw junk, as that fastball misses on the outside corner, 2-0.
Page has been mixing up his pitches, though. One batter, he's going to show favor to an off speed. The next one, he's going to show favor to a speed.
Swing and a miss on a fastball up and in. As the count goes 2-1. Eric Weeks on deck. He would hit next. Drummer with a leadoff second. And the pitch. Breaking ball way off the plate. And that goes 3-1. Romick, no matter how much he tried to frame it, there was no way that was going to get called a strike. 3-1. There's a drive down the right field line. That is a fair ball. Trummer going to round third. He's coming to home. Moore heading into second ahead of the throw. And an RBI double for Grant Moore. And the Tarp Skunks are on the board at 6-1.
And good job by Grant Moore being able to pull that one down the right field line and stretch that from a single to a double and driving home the run.
So now Eric Weeks had a 6-game hitting streak snapped in Auburn. And a couple of loud contacts yesterday, including an RBI double. And the first pitch to him is a breaking ball that catches the outside corner for a strike. 0-1 the count. So now Moore taking Traumer's place at second. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go in the next couple of pitches, as the 0-1 just misses off. And the count goes to 1 apiece.
I wouldn't be surprised if he went, but the base running aggressiveness that we've seen from him at the beginning of the season has kind of slowed down.
Oh, and that pitch comes in and it hits him. Not a lot of velocity behind that one. It's going to sting, but not as bad as it could. That puts runners at first and second with 1 out, and we're starting to get into the heart of the order now as Nolan Smith stands in, and now we're going to get a meeting at the mound. I don't think we're going to get a pitching change here, just more of a... I'm not even sure what this conversation is. I mean, you're up 5 runs You know, there's not a lot of danger that you need to talk Page down from at this point.
Well, there is action in Batavia's bullpen, or at least I see a guy in the stretch in their bullpen.
So meeting of the minds is over. And Jack Page will now face Nolan Smith, left-handed hitting first baseman. Smith walked his last time up.
And if I'm Nolan Smith, that spot between center and right looks pretty sweet.
First pitch, swing and a miss on a fastball just off the plate. 0-1 the count.
I mean, just look at how wide that gap is from center and right.
That is huge. David almost guarding the line in right. Swing and a miss again. And Smith can't connect on the outside fastball. Vaughn in left playing straight away. And the 0-2. That went off the plate. And it's 1-2.
Again, Nolan Smith has shown to pull it. However, he's swinging at the ones outside.
1-2. Runners take their lead. The pitch. That one inside out with a fastball. And 2-2.
Man, I just can't stop looking at that gap in right and center. It has Nolan's name all over it.
Oh, yeah. He splits the gap. He's running for a while.
He tried to stretch a triple.
That one fouled back.
He tried to stretch a triple back in Olean.
It was thrown out by about 4 feet. But, I mean, that was, I think that was more of a just, not sure, just try to extend something, make something happen. 2-2. And they're saying he went around, and you've got to be kidding me. That is, out of all the controversial bad calls that have been made tonight, that has got to be the absolute worst call I have seen tonight. He didn't even, you know, this is, I'm not even going to go there. I'm not going to go there.
And, you know, I've seen first-handedly Joe Riedebach upset with officiating, but that, I'm just going to say that is unacceptable.
That ball didn't even go 25% of the plane of the plate or the bat. So now here's Dixon. First pitch is a breaking ball off the plate for a ball, 1-0.
Now there's still a gap in right and center field.
As the next pitch comes in up high, 2-0. You know, you talk about me going off on my animated rants. I was about to drop an epic one. But then I realized I like my job, so 2-0. That one taken for a strike, 2-1. I'll tell you about it. I'll tell you about it on the break, as long as I can get it done in less than 70 seconds.
Well, yeah, you get over a minute. I think you can squeeze something in that.
I don't know. You've seen me when I get mad. 2-1, runners go. Pitch taken up for a ball. Throw down to second. Not in time.
Very successful double steal. It's been a while since we've seen that.
Well, that would be a couple of stolen bases. I don't think we had one yesterday. That would be stolen bases 101 and 102 then.
No, but I remember Cooper Tarley from Olean had a day on the base path.
3-1 and the pitch. That one taken for a strike, 3-2.
And Grant Moore is just waiting for something to get past Romick. Or Romick has been keeping them in front. So very rarely you're going to see something past him.
So now 3-2. Payoff pitch coming. And that one misses for a ball, and Dixon draws a walk, loads the bases Forest full of skunks with 2 out here. And that's going to bring up Dom Costello. And I think that might be all for Jack Page, as second mound visit of the inning is underway. A little bit of a delayed stretch, and there we go. New pitcher coming in. Tarp Skunks with the bases loaded, down 6-1. We'll be back in just a minute. Side armor Garrett Beaver is the new Batavia Muckdogs pitcher. This will be his 10th appearance. He has a 1-0 record with 2 saves, a 0.0 ERA in 12 innings pitched. He's only given up 4 hits, walked 3, struck out 19. Hitters are hitting a paltry 103 against him. And he inherits a bases loaded situation with 2 out here, as the Tarp Skunks trying to threaten, down by 5. They've already got 1 across in the inning. They would like to get a couple of more. And it's going to be up to Dom Costello, the extra hitter.
I noticed this from Batavia. Every time they face us, I see the same pitchers, the same sequence. I mean, not the same starting pitcher, but I'm seeing Beaver all the time. I'm seeing Jack Page all the time.
So Costello stands in, bases loaded. Side armor comes across with the first pitch outside for a ball, 1-0.
Whatever he poses a problem.
All three runners belong to Page. And the first pitch, or the next pitch, comes in swing and a miss. And the count's 1-1.
And Dom Costello looking to get something done here.
Left-handed hitter stands in, waves that bat back and forth. The 1-1 comes in a bit low. 2-1.
And again, that gap in right center field, it's just asking for a hit to be hit there.
Beaver comes set, checks the runners, kicks and throws. That one's fouled straight back. And the count is even at 2 apiece.
They made contact on that one, fouling it behind the plate, so now the count is even.
You know, the one thing I've noticed about Beaver, when he throws sidearm, a lot of sidearmers, they'll get a lot of run away from their dominant hand. He has a lot of sink. So there's a drive down the right field line. That one could be trouble going way back there, and it is gone!
It just happened again.
Dom Costello hit it high and watch it fly. A grand slam off of Garrett Beaver, his first home run of the season, and the Skunks now trail 6-5.
And that's what you needed right there. You needed a grand slam in a situation like this. Now they're only down by 1. Never say die. It is not over. He just turned this game upside down.
And for Garrett Beaver, that's his first run he has given up, as they were appealing at home to see if someone didn't touch the home. Oh, could you imagine if he had called someone out? Can you imagine the reaction of Joe Rittebach?
At that point, well, I can't say it, but yeah.
First pitch taken for a strike to Tito Kiefer. 0-1, but wow, a charge put in to this ball game here. Now 6-5. Swing and a miss.
You know what?
Counts 0-2.
You know, I was going to say the last time we were here in Dwyer Stadium, it was a game like this, and it took an inning, and just like that, Tarp Skunks have fought back.
0-2 pitch, misses for a ball. 1-2. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's just one of those things where, you know, Skunks have that fight in them.
But they got to do something different than last time. They're going to have to sustain the lead and add on more.
Well, the 1-2 pitch comes in, misses for a ball. 2-2.
Or sustain
just the 1-run deficit. I know where you're going.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, you know, the 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. And the side is retired, but damage done. Dom Costello with a grand slam here in the top of the 6th inning. 5 come across. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's now 6-5 Batavia.
Welcome back here to Dwyer Stadium. Tarp Skunks have dwindled this lead down to 1 after the grand slam, as Tino Masson will start his 4th inning of work. He will face Kyle Vaughn, Braden I, and then to the top of the lineup it goes. And here to call it all, it is Dre Guinness.
All right, Jalen, thank you very much, as this game has taken a turn here. In the 6th inning, the Dom father himself, Dom Costello, with a grand slam. So there's a high fly ball to left field. That might be an answer way back, and that ball is gone.
That's how you get a response. Come on.
No, they're calling it. No, they're not calling it a home run. They're not calling it a home run.
Wait a minute now. What are they? Hold on. What are they talking about here? Are they saying?
No. You can't do that.
You know, they are calling it a home run. And here comes Joe Rittebach.
You do it yourself and hit a home run.
And conversation
And now you got to keep these runs going. You now have that momentum.
still continues between the home plate umpire and Riddebach, and it looks like the home plate umpire is squaring up. It looks like he wants to toss him. And if you're Joe Riddebach, you got to be careful here. So the home run stands by Kyle Vaughn, and it's now 7-5.
Yeah, I know. I can sense some frustration from Joe Riedebach with the officiating here.
I mean, our angle wasn't great, as there's a high fly ball, foul territory, and out of play. So I didn't actually see where the ball landed. You know, if it hit, I guess, the Batavia version of the Blue Meanie, those top walls with the sign on it, you know, that begs the question, what are the ground rules here?
Well, then they just need a yellow line.
There's a hard ground ball to second, picked up by Kiefer, throws on to first, and there's one away. Yeah, you're not wrong. You know, what happened to the yellow lines in baseball? We don't have those at Dietrich either. I think that would definitely...
The score, USA 2, Bosnia, no score.
As they announce the World Cup soccer results going on right now, USA up 2-0 over Bosnia. One down here. And a first pitch strike taken by Jalen David. That one up and in. And the count even at one apiece. And the crowd getting a little chirpy.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. It is their park. And the pitch. There's a line drive down the left field line that hooks foul, and the count evens at 2 apiece. Or make that 1-2. I was ahead of myself. Masson kicks and throws. Breaking ball in the dirt, and the count goes 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. Oh, just missed for a ball. 3-2.
I gotta say, I feel like he was given that call a strike before.
3-2 pitch. There's a fly ball into left center field. Moore ranges over to his left and makes the catch for the second out. And with 2 down, that's going to bring up Cooper Russell.
Finally being able to get out Jalen David. He is posed as a problem in this game.
For Cooper Russell, he's walked, been hit by a pitch, and struck out looking. So 0 for 1 officially. Takes a pitch on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. You know, this game has been marred by a few things. A freak rain delay that delayed the game for about 35 minutes. That one taken for a strike. And it's 0-2. Very questionable umpiring tonight on both for both sides. It's not just going against one side. It's gone against both sides. As that one called strike 3, and the inning is over. Batavia does get a run on the home run. They expand their lead to 7-5. We go to the top of the 7th. We'll be back after this.
back here to Dwyer Stadium.
7-5.
7-5. Batavia hit a solo home run. Beaver on his second inning of work. He will face Jordan Lindquist and Trommer, and I'm on the mound for this one. First pitch. Catches the zone for a strike, and it is 0-1.
Wow, you were chomping at the bit. You didn't even wait for me to give you the introduction. You just jumped right on it.
Well, I waited 5 seconds after after I saw the screen.
Millennials and Gen Z and everything, your instant gratification. You can wait 7 seconds.
That one is fouled, and so Jordan is quickly behind 0-2. That one, line drive, fouled on the left side. But hey, Dre, you got a lot of the action on yours.
Yeah, you got a lot of the action last night.
I did, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
That one misses for a ball, 1-2.
That was a gutsy take. But again, that's what I was talking about with Beaver and his sidearm delivery. Instead of the ball running away from his dominant hand, it drops.
It drops. So 1-2. That one, ground ball to first. Oh, it takes a bad hop, and nobody can get to it. It is an infield single for Caleb Jordan.
At least that's what it should be. We'll see what it's scored here. And it is scored a hit. Yeah, that definitely took a bad hop, and Quintero had no chance at it.
I almost hit him in the face.
Number 45, Branston Lindquist.
I was going to bring in Branston Lindquist. Struck out looking and grounded out to short. He was going to try to advance the runner. That one is inside, catches the zone for a strike.
It's only the third inning that the Tarp Skunks able to get the leadoff hitter on. First time via a hit.
So 1-1. That one fouled at the plate, and so Branston Lindquist is quickly behind 0-2.
Seven, 9-0 for Batavia. 5-5-0 for the Tarp Skunks.
So 0-2. That one outside for a ball. Romick gives Caleb Jordan a look, no throw.
That one would have been perfect for the Ukers, just a bit outside.
Yeah. So 0-2, that one ground ball to second base. Throws to second on a first. They called him out.
Lindquist throws his helmet in disgust, and I'm right there with him.
I gotta say, that was pretty close. That's all I can say. That was pretty close. But nonetheless, Anthony Tromer standing in. He's got himself ground ball. First pitch outside for a ball. Grounded out to short, or grounded out to second, and then a single came around to score also. So I want to know, that one ground ball back fouled.
All I'm going to say is that it's a good thing the umpires don't have Yelp reviews.
I think it's a good thing that they don't watch this show.
Oh, they do.
Oh, they do?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I've had feedback. Not only do they watch it, but the league also watches it too.
Oh, that actually does make sense now that you say that.
Mm-hmm.
That one misses. 2-1 the count to Anthony Tromer.
And that's why I
didn't drop the CM Punk pipe bomb.
Well,
that one is a line drive up the middle. That one passes Beaver on the way. And so Anthony Tromer gets himself a single.
Well, I mean, I did that back in 2024, my first season with the Skunks. There was a umpire that I was not a fan of and probably went a little too far.
I feel like you told me this before.
I probably did. It was probably one of those lessons on what not to do.
Yeah. Well, it's like what they say. A wise man will learn from other people's mistakes.
Well, I make a lot of them, so you should be the smartest man in this room right now.
Someone misses 2-0 to CJ Dugan. CJ Dugan grounded out to short and struck out looking. And that one gets past the catcher. And Anthony Tromer advances on the pass ball. So it is 3-0 to CJ Dugan.
But I digress.
That is true.
I'm not even sure what the word digress is. I just heard that on TV once and I thought it sounded good. I digress.
I think it means like changing subjects.
No, okay, well, let's do that.
3-0. That one catches the zone, and CJ Dugan thought that was ball 4.
Yeah, no, that one caught the inside part of the plate. We'll call it fair.
So here it comes. The delivery, and that one inside and misses. So the Tarp Skunks once again trying to start a 2-out rally. As we roll it back up to the top of the lineup, it is Grant Moore.
Center fielder number 2, Grant Moore.
Last time up, Grant Moore hit a double down the right field line. Drove in the first run of the game for the Tarp Skunks.
Really done did it for them.
And it's amazing how situations tend to imitate themselves here.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch, or the 0-0. And he tried to lay down a bunt, did not get the bunt, but he did not pull back either. So it is 0-1 the count. Grant Moore with a couple of strikeouts and a double. That one line drive into right field, and that one's going to get down. Anthony Tromer on his way home, and he's in there. But the throw to second, and it's not in time. And so Grant Moore is able to stretch that one into a double.
There we go. That is what the Skunks needed, especially Grant Moore, who had been on a bit of a cold streak. Now 2 consecutive base hits with RBIs. And the 2-out thunder continues, now 7-6, and Eric Weeks stepping up to the plate.
Here comes Eric Weeks. This is very sweet for him. I mean, 2 in scoring position. Now, unfortunately, he cannot get a sac fly on this one, so it has to be a ball in play. That one is in there for a strike, 0-1. Eric Weeks, a couple of groundouts and hit by the pitch. Just swings on and missed, and so it is 0-2 the count for Weeks.
Well, you know, there's a saying in baseball, it's not over till it's over.
It is. No, like really. Because there is no time limit in baseball. The time limit is the outs.
There's no crying in baseball, apparently, according to Tom Hanks.
That one is a pop-up, and Quintaro. And he makes the catch for the out, and that'll do it for the Tarp Skunks. But on a couple of hits, 1 run comes across to score. The score is now 7-6 Batavia. We come back to the bottom of the 7th. That looks like a 2, but I'm going to say 23.
7-6. Muckdogs with the lead over the Jamestown Tarp Skunks as we go to the bottom of the 7th. It's Camp Churchill on the mound. Churchill, my memory serves, he started yesterday against Olean.
He did.
So working on very short rest.
I gotta say, I'm kind of shocked that he is getting the call here. Especially, he had a five inning work last night. Or was it 4?
I think it was 3 1/3 was the final tally on him. I'll pull it up after he finishes his warm-up tosses. But we'll tell you that he is going to face Jackson Inman, Evan Brock, and Glenn Brooks. And here to tell you all about the fun and frivolity is Jalen Ferguson.
It is. It is like what Dre says. It is a beautiful day for baseball.
Are you feeling the fun and frivolity?
You gotta make it fun. You gotta make it fun.
Because it's got to be fun and frivolity. It can't be fun and or. I don't make the rules. I just pretend I do.
You're just following orders.
The orders from the voices in my mind.
That one misses for a ball 1.
Yeah, Camp Churchill yesterday, 3 1/3, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs earned, walked 3, struck out 1. I want to say, no, it doesn't say how many pitches. 70 pitches.
Had a pretty solid outing last night.
Yeah. And now getting the call here tonight.
And that was foul behind into the backstop.
And again, no flinch.
No flinches.
I'll give tons of credit to one of the people out there in the front row is not even paying attention, so.
I didn't even know that there was a ball right there.
Nope.
So 1-1 the count. To Inman. Good frame job, did not get the call. 2-1.
Going a little fishing there for Lindquist and did not bite.
I don't know. Camp Churchill, he played. He got the start. I wouldn't see him getting past 1 inning. Or not past 1 inning, but getting 1 inning of work. Because that one swung on and missed.
Yeah, I kind of have an idea as to what the game plan is, but I don't want to say it because I don't want to jinx it.
That is true.
We all know about that announcer's curse being a real thing.
Yes. As a 2-2 count, that one up high for a ball. I kind of sense the strategy a little bit. But then again, like I said, Joe was going to throw his best aces at Batavia.
This reminds me of the first game against Batavia here. Down 1 late.
That one fouled behind the dish. So we're going to do 3-2 all over again.
Gonna admit, for the first, 4 or 5 innings of this game, clinical depression was starting to set in.
It was.
But then 5 runs coming across in the top of the 6th inning, that'll cure you better than Wellbutrin.
That one, line drive into no man's land, ranging under it is CJ Dugan, and he makes the catch.
Nice play by Dugan. Hung up there a little bit longer than it looked off the bat. Was able to range under it, track it down, looking into his glove, and the first out of the inning.
No, we'll see. A little bit of clinical depression was starting to sink in, but that 2-out grand slam kind of set a fire under our bat.
Just a little bit.
Especially the sun this morning. Certainly set me on fire.
It was a little warm today. Not gonna lie, just a little warm.
For Evan Brock. Evan Brock struck out, grounded out to second, and he also lined out to second as well.
You want to talk about temperature differences? When this game started, it was 97 degrees. Looking down at the thermometer now, 78.
It dropped drastically.
19 degrees.
That one is a ground ball to short. Cannot stay with it. Took a bad hop.
It took more than one bad hop. It was greedy. It took more than its share of bad hops, at least 2 or 3 before it even got to Dixon at short.
But they're gonna give Evan Brock the hit on that one.
And I'm not mad about that. I actually agree with that one.
So that's gonna be Glenn Brooks duo.
There's something funky with this infield grass.
I think that, well, I don't know. I can't say the rain because it wasn't raining before. As that is a line drive out to center field. Grant Moore ranging under it. And that one is at the wall. And that is going to be 1-run scoring. And Glenn Brooks getting a triple there on the first pitch. So Batavia now brings the lead back up to 2. It is 8-6.
Give Moore tons of credit for even being able to track it that far, but just a little bit too much off that center field wall. And fortunate for the Skunks, if he had pulled that a little bit, that might have been a round tripper instead of a 3-bagger.
That could have been the third one today, the second one for the Tarp Skunk, or for Batavia. Infield in on this one. First pitch to James Contaro is in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Glenn Brooks is posed to be a problem. Contaro has also got himself an RBI double, as that one is fouled at the plate, and so it is 0-2. Contaro, the official splits on him. Ground out to first. Got himself an RBI double and popped out to second.
You know, we'll talk about this in a second. But going back to that
one is outside for a ball, 1-2.
5th inning that Tino Masson got 3 consecutive pop-ups. The odds of this happening have to be astronomical. P4, P5, P6 in that order.
You know, I took probability in college. I don't want to take that ever again. That one is fouled off on the right side or left side, and we'll even do that again. You know, calculations like that on how to figure out what is the probability of getting a sequence like that.
That's what ChatGPT is for. You think I'm gonna try to figure that out? No, I'm gonna let a computer do it for me.
Exactly. Why do you think I'm in the booth here instead of an analyst? As that one swung on and missed. And James Contaro sat down on strikes, and that's going to bring in the catcher, Cooper Romick.
Catcher number 47.
Probably because being an analyst is boring.
It is.
Because all you do is sit and analyze stuff all day.
Yeah. But that's why AI. That's why there's a thing called AI where it just does it for you. That's going to bring in Cooper Romick. Popped up to third base at his last at-bat. Swung on and missed.
Now, with the exception of the one speed bump out to center field, Camp Churchill has had a pretty solid outing after 3 1/3 and 70 pitches yesterday. Has come in and, you know, he ain't gave up a run, but, you know.
It wasn't a hit parade.
No, it was not.
That one, ground ball to third. Caleb Jordan throws on first. They got him. And that'll do it for Batavia. Not before on one hit and a triple. A run comes in to score. It is 8-6 Batavia.
Top of the 8th inning here in Batavia. It is a 2-run Muckdogs lead, 8-6, as it is going to be Nolan Smith, James Dixon, and the Dom father, Dom Costello. They will face Eric Woodley coming in to relieve Garrett Beaver. And here to tell you about the 8th inning is Jalen Ferguson.
Yeah, they're putting in Woodley here. So depending on how this game goes, he could be getting the close on this one.
You know what time it is, don't you?
Yes.
It's rally hat time.
I wish I could put on my rally hat right now. But my hat would literally not fit on my head because of all my hair.
Oh, see, there we go. This is how I do it. I've got the rally hat going.
As the first pitch is outside for a ball for Nolan Smith.
You know, I get one rally hat a year that actually works. So I'm cashing in tonight.
Well, we kind of need it tonight. That one, no swing. He checked up, so it is inside for a ball, 2-0. Speaking of check swings, Nolan Smith would like a better outing than how that ended last time.
Let's not discuss that.
As that one misses, 3-0.
There we go. Got the official rally hat photo.
That is going to be on the Drake Guinness Instagram page. As that one in the zone for a strike.
Yeah, might as well.
Put it on LinkedIn. I don't know.
People actually use LinkedIn?
That's what they tell me to do in college. Use LinkedIn. That one is a line drive out in the left field, and it is caught by Vaughn.
That was a good play by Vaughn. I didn't think he was going to be able to get over there to get it.
Yeah, me neither. I thought that was going to drop in front of him, but nonetheless, he did stretch out his glove to make the catch. I was going to bring in James Dixon. Dixon grounded out to short, walked, struck out looking, and then he walked and singled and then walked again. As he watches the first pitch of the at-bat for a ball, 1-0. I gotta say, I mean, if they're putting in Woodley, I'd say you probably want to put in Pence after this. That one catches the zone for a strike, 1-1 the count. And how Woodley squats down. I think I mentioned this before. It reminds me of Jordan Romano, pitcher for the Cardinals. That one checks swing and he goes around. Or no, that was on the pitch. So it is 1-2. How Woodley just squats down really does remind me of Jordan Romano, former Blue Jays pitcher and now a Cardinals pitcher. The 1-2 pitch, and that one hits him. And so the second man up gets on base via hit by pitch. That's going to bring in, what do you call him, the Dom father?
The Dom father himself, Dom Costello.
And that's 4-run home run.
There's a term for that. They call those grand slams.
Yes.
Or if you're...
That one foul.
What was his name? Dave Kingman for the Seattle Mariners?
I think so.
Get out the rye bread and grandma mustard? Or get out the rye bread and mustard grandma. If you get out the grandma mustard, I don't want to know what you're doing with your life. Let's just leave that one alone.
Oh, and won the count to Dom Costello. That one is outside for a ball. 1-1.
Look, I'm old. It's past my bedtime.
I mean, hey. I'm old in my knees. Why do you think I'm talking about baseball instead of playing it? Because I'm old. As 1-1 to Dom Costello. That one catches his own for a strike, 1-2.
Yeah, I think we've had that conversation on air. If you're old, what am I? And let's not dig those painful memories back up.
What did I say? I forgot what I said.
I think it was something about an archaeological dig in Indiana Jones. I'm not sure.
No, you said that, not me. Check swing did not go around. 2-2. The archaeological thing, that is you.
I would have taken ownership of it.
That is, I am not brilliant enough to come up with a joke like that. 2-2 to Dom Costello. That one, ground ball, slow roll to second base, and they get Costello at first.
Yeah, that one I thought was going to be trouble because kind of fisted it towards second, and just ball never died on the grass. It just kept going.
Yeah, I thought that ball was going to be a lot faster than how it did. But that was a slow roller, so that's going to bring in Tito Kiefer. Kiefer as a runner at second, and there is a meeting on the mound for some reason.
I mean, with 2 outs, a runner at second, they're probably switching up, going to their man on second signs, keep them from being stolen and relayed back to Kiefer.
There is stretching and tossing in the Batavia bullpen. Nothing doing for the Tarp Skunks.
And I can't even see into their bullpen.
So the 0-0 to Kiefer, and that one outside for a ball. 1-0. Kiefer is definitely due for a hit today. It'll be good to get his first hit of the ball game, and that one be an RBI. It's 1-0 to Kiefer. That one fouled on the right side. So it is 1-1 the count. And Woodley. That one is fouled on the right side again.
Kiefer doing a good job staying alive.
Batavia, 8 runs on 11 hits, no errors. Jamestown, 6 runs on, I think that's 7 on no errors.
Oh, someone needs to go replace some light bulbs in that scoreboard.
That looks like a 7 to me. I can't tell. That one is outs for a ball. 2-2.
How many muck dogs does it take to change a light bulb? Well, we don't know.
We don't know. It's kind of the same thing with the Tootsie Pop.
We know the answer to that. It's 3. According to that wise owl in the tree, it's 3.
That one is fouled, and you just rhymed there.
That happens on occasion.
It's almost like a Dr. Seuss book. Green eggs and ham. 2-2 to Tito Kiefer. That one line drive to short and scooped up and throws on the first and got him. And that'll do it for the Tarp Skunks. As we head to the bottom of the 8th, 1 left on. It is still 8-6.
Bottom of the 8th inning, as Camp Churchill comes back out to do some more work. He's going to face the bottom, Monell, Vaughn, and I. And here to tell you about it, it's Jalen Ferguson.
Thank you very much. Hopefully, they can get out of this inning as quickly as possible. Because, like I said, no lead is safe, especially when you're up by 2, as Batavia is. But standing in against Camp Churchill, it is Miles Manellas. That is a line drive out in the center field, and that one drops in front of Grandmore. So that is going to be a leadoff single.
Well, that was quick.
That was quick.
Left fielder, number 22, Kyle Vaughn.
1 pitch, 1 on, and that brings up Kyle Vaughn, who, well, homered and doubled. Also hit by a pitch.
I'm gonna say it. He could possibly get the cycle here.
No, he still needs a single and a triple.
He still does need that.
We'll take a strike 1 though.
As it is strike 1. Trying to use the commentator's curse as a weapon. That one is a line drive out in the left field, ranging under in his Dugan, and he makes the catch. So on 2 pitches at that at bat, and he is out. And that's going to bring in Braden High.
Yeah, I would never tempt fate like that. You don't mess with karma.
That is true.
I'm not sure if that's karma or not, but I'm not going to take the chance. So Braden I 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a walk.
That one is ground ball to short or to first and avoids the double play, only getting the out at second.
You know, that was one of those slow bounding balls again that Kiefer had to wait for, made the flip to Dixon covering the bag, but by the time that happened, there was no play to get him at first.
Yeah, that is true. So as we roll it back up to the top of the lineup, it is Braden I.
This is Jalen David.
Jalen David, my bad. I was still reading off my notes. But Jalen David, he singled, sack fly, and fly ball out in the center. So that one is a fastball inside that misses.
You know, I can kind of tell that you need a day off too.
Yeah. There's 1-1 the count. That one is popped up fouled. So the count is now 1-2 to Jalen David. So Braden I at first. That one is a ground ball to third on the first, and it's not in time. Very tough play. Infield single for Jalen David, and that's going to bring in Cooper Russell.
Yeah, there was nothing that Jordan could have done with that one. It was too slow to roll, and he couldn't let it go because there was no indication that the movement was heading toward the foul line. So had to field it and do the best he could with it. And Inman, David, with just too much speed.
So Cooper Russell, walk, hit by pitch, and struck out looking twice. So he's officially 0 for 2. That one in the zone for a strike, 0-1. Very important. Camp Churchill's been throwing strikes here. That's all I want. That's all you want from him to do. 0 for 1. That one just misses inside for a ball.
Tarp Skunks on the road again tomorrow, taking on the Olean Oilers at Bradner Stadium. That'll be on the Oilers YouTube page. Back home against the Oilers on Friday. It's fireworks night.
This is the second time we played them back-to-back games this season.
And we get one more time.
Swung on and missed by Cooper Russell.
Last two of the last 3 games of the season. It goes at Olean, Geneva at home.
I will say, I think half of our home games are against Olean.
I don't think we see them again. No, this is when we get to start to feast on Geneva, Newark, Elmira, and Auburn.
It's the 1-2 pitch inside for a ball. Haven't played Elmira yet. Did take both games in that doubleheader on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll be at Elmira on Sunday, and I'm wondering if they're going to work out some sort of part of a doubleheader on that one.
That one is fouled at the backstop, and we're going to do 2-2 again.
And then $2 buyout night when Newark comes into town on Tuesday the 7th. And then community buyout night next Friday, July the 10th, as the Muckdogs come in to Dietrich Park for the second to last time of the regular season.
So 2-2 the count. And that one again fouled off to the back. Still a 2-2 count.
But yeah, our remaining home games against Newark, Batavia, Auburn for 2, Batavia, Newark, Geneva, Niagara, Geneva.
And now you're just making me sad seeing how this is the last month of the season.
Yeah, that's also part of the internship, is dealing with postseason depression.
2-2, fouled again behind the backstop.
Actually, I should say post-seasonal depression.
Post-seasonal depression, yes.
'Cause there's a difference between those two things.
Huh.
Postseason depression is depression if you don't get in the postseason. Post-seasonal depression is once everything is over.
Okay.
2 different things.
That one outside for a ball, 3-2.
And you can quote me on that.
Yes.
It'll be in my medical publication that I put in the Mayo Clinic Journal of Nonsensical Medicine.
That whole quote will be in a text box labeled drink.
Probably.
That one grounded to first base. Steps on the bag is Nolan Smith, and that'll do it. No runs coming across. 2 left on. We go to the top of the 9th. Last chance for the Tarp Skunks. Batavia up 8-6.
It's the top of the 9th inning, leading off for Jamestown, third base number 38, Caleb Gardner.
And welcome back here to Dwyer Stadium. Last chance for the Tarp Skunks, as it'll be Woodley to close it out. He will face Caleb Jordan, Lindquist, and Tromber. And here, hopefully not the last, it is Drake Ennis.
All right, here we go. First pitch of the at-bat to Caleb Jordan's taken outside for a ball, 1-0. Tarp Skunks down 2, and quickly Romick going out to talk to Woodley about something. Not sure what this conversation is.
Yeah, me neither.
Sponsored by Golden Hill Vineyards. Doors open at 5:30. Contact the Muckdog box office for further ticket info.
Caleb Jordan 1 for 3, singled his last time up, was thrown out on the front half of a double play. And the 1-0, that one finds the outside corner for a strike. Count goes 1-1. Lindquist on deck, followed by Anthony Traumer.
We're gonna have to get something going. They're only down by 2 runs here.
1-1 pitch, taken for a strike. 1-2. An opportunity starting to dwindle here. The 1-2 pitch, breaking ball outside, and the count goes 2-2. Good eye for Caleb Jordan.
You know, it is a good eye for him. Good job being able to extend the at-bat.
Yeah. Tarp Skunks have done their most threatening work with 2 outs. They'd like to do something here with no outs. And a swing and a miss. Ball is dropped by Romick. Picked up, throw on to first to complete the strikeout. And there is 1 away. And that'll bring up Branston Lindquist.
The catcher number 45, Branston Lindquist.
Oh for 3 on the day. Stands in. Gently waving the bat back and forth. First pitch swung on and missed. On a fastball at the letters right in Lindquist's wheelhouse.
Yeah, it was right there for the taking. He just did not get a good swing on that one.
Count goes 0-1. Swing and a miss. And quickly 0-2 to Lindquist. And Woodley cruising here. Down in that crouch. At least he's getting his cardio in. Swing and a miss. 3 straight pitches, and Lindquist goes down swinging, 2 down. And that's going to bring up Anthony Traumer as the Tarp Skunks' last hope. Traumer 2 for 3, 2 singles, a stolen base. He scored 2 runs tonight. He would be the second skunk running in the most valuable stinker category. I think the obvious choice is going to be Dom Costello with that grand salami back in the 6th inning.
I'm gonna have to put Grant Moore up there with his 2 doubles. Can also put in Anthony Traumer, his 2 singles.
I think that's fair. I think that is a fair most valuable stinker distribution tonight.
I'm gonna be generous. I'm gonna put in Camp Churchill, even though he only gave up 1 or 2.
Yeah, you know, Churchill on short notice. They needed him. He responded. He only gave up the 1 run. First pitch to Traumer, fouled straight back. And the count 0-1, and strikes rapidly dissipating for the Tarp Skunks.
Yeah, it is. Down to the last 2.
Oh, 1. That one just off the plate, 1-1. Good eye by Traumer. Not going to help Woodley by swinging at something off the plate. And the 1-1 coming. Swinging, there's a fly ball out to center. Brooks underneath it, puts it away, and the ball game is over. The Batavia Muckdogs defeat the Jamestown Tarp Skunks by a final score of 8-6. They improve their record to 17-6. The Tarp Skunks fall to 16-7. Tarp Skunks on the road tomorrow at Olean, 6:30 for the first pitch. That'll be on the Olean Oilers television and radio network, as we're going to be off tomorrow night. We'll be back with you Friday night from Dietrich Park as the Olean Oilers come into town to take on the Tarp Skunks the night before 4th of July. For Jalen Ferguson, I'm Dre Guinness, thanking everybody for joining us and sticking with us through